There is an interesting paragraph in Travancore archaeological cities books. Uh, if Vijayalaya came of the same family as that of Chola Maharaja Kumarankusa, it is very likely that he was a grandson of his. No, no upstart could have commanded what he needed to establish a new line and in short time to uproot a reigning dynasty. The dynasty which is being mentioned here is that of the Mudrayas who ruled from Thanjavur. And now we see that Vijayalaya ejected Mudrayars from Thanjavur area, and then his son Aditya Chola he defeated the Pallavas and conquered the kingdom. So there are two questions which one can ask here. If he is an upstart, how exactly did he and his son become that powerful enough to topple both the Pandyans and both the Pallavas and in a generation Pandyans as well? This is the first thing. And second thing is, if he is not an upstart, who exactly is he? And this word Kumarankusha, this takes the discussion in a completely different direction. We don't exactly know who he is, but it is assumed to be. It is assumed that he is the son of Srikantha Srimanohara Chola, a Telugu Chola, who ruled from Pottapi. So now over Srikantha Srimanohara, there is he is a confusing character actually. For example, in one of the Pandyan copper plate inscriptions, he is mentioned as Tondayarkon, Mailayarkon. Tondayarkon means he is the conqueror of Tondai Nadu. Mailayarkon means the conqueror of Mailai. Mailai can be either Mailapur or Mailadapur, whatever. Either of them, it really doesn't matter. But the main word to count here is Tondayarkon. And then they say Pottapi Chola, Srikantha Raja. The problem with this is, why would a Pandyan king marry the daughter of a lowly vassal king? Because these Telugu Cholas are not that great kings are of any great importance. They were just played like a ping pong ball between Rashtrakutas and Pallavas. Some days they were vassals of Rashtrakuta, some days they were vassals of Pallavas, and they are not someone whom anyone would talk about in that exalted marriage. And here we see that he married his daughter is married to the son of Jatil Parantaka, which is Sri Vallabha. This inscription was issued by Srimara's younger son, uh, Parantaka Veeranarayana. This is one side of the picture, and coming to the other part of it, unbuilt plates of Sundara Chola. There also he mentions that Srikantha Chola is one of their ancestors. But the reading in that, it is not mentioned here. But if you look into the reading in that, what you will be seeing there is, it's not exactly. First, you will get a paragraph over Srikantha Chola. Immediately after that, you will get a paragraph over Vijayalaya Chola. Whether he is a direct descendant or whether there is a gap of generations in middle, that there is no way to tell. And yes, from the time of Vijayalaya Chola, you will see a continuous dynastic information, and this is fine. The question then at this point is, point number one, someone says Vijayalaya Chola can be related to Kumarankusha as a grandson. I'll come to that at a later point. And some other person says uh, he is related to both he's related to both Pandyans here as well as Cholas. So, what exactly can be a reason that everyone is allied with such a minor ruler? Possibly, an answer for this comes from this word, Tondayarkon. In 803, Rashtrakuta Govinda he invaded Pallava Empire and you can say he almost conquered it. If the Srikantha Chola is one of his commanders who was made in charge of Tondai Nadu, or he was a military commander in Tondai Nadu, at some point he may have taken the title. We really don't know. But one thing for certain is this Kumarankusa Chola is a vassal of Pallavas and not Pandyans, or a relation of Pandyans. This means that, and and an assumption here is that this Kumarankusa Chola is a son of Srikantha Chola. Kumarankusa is known to thrive around 830s and 840s, and this battle 803, which means that we can probably give some 10-15 years for Srikantha Chola after this. So 825 and 850, father and son, it makes sense. No issues, no issues and no questions there. Uh, Now, and then this article, an interregnum in Pallava history, from readings in South Indian history, it raises some concerning points here. Actually, I came across this particular inscription in some other book. Basically, the inscription doesn't exist. All we have is a single line. Whether that inscription was copied or whether it got destroyed, no one really knows. All we know here is a particular a single line inscription about which mentions the name of Vijayalaya Chola, who is assumed to be named after Vijayalaya, who is assumed to be Vijayalaya Chola, and there is a word in that, Pattanipara Nathan. Uh, and someone and the this author, I think, uh, TV Mahalingam, I guess. He says it may be Pottapi instead of Pattanipura, whatever it means, because they were not able to identify this place anywhere, and it could maybe it is Pottapi. If it is the case, this is the most direct link which we have got to Vijayalaya Chola with Telugu Cholas. Now, let's say, okay, these are all assumptions. Fine. Do we have a bit more solid which presents our case in this direction? Now there are some inscriptions of Vijay. Sorry. Uh, there are some inscriptions of Aditya Chola. For example, if you consider this particular one, mm, I'll if you consider this particular one, in Bhaktavatsala temple of Tirukalkundram, a Rajakesari Varman is mentioned. And this inscription is dated 27th year of that particular Rajakesari Varman. Now we know that Rajakesari Varman and Parakesari Varman are alternating titles for Chola kings. Uh, Vijayalaya Chola is known as Parakesari. Chola is known as Rajakesari. So by default, it is assumed that this Rajakesari in this particular description is Aditya Chola. But where is the problem? Uh, it looks like the script which is used in this particular inscription is older than that of Rashtrakuta Krishna, who is a contemporary of Aditya Chola, and it closely resembles that of Tandantotam plates, which are dated around 775 AD. Now, if you consider Pallava script and so the script used in Pallava territory and Ganga territory, there is a lag of around 25 to 30 kilometers. 25 to 30 years. So even if you are considering that sort of a lag here, it is possible that this particular inscription in Bhaktavatsala Perumal temple in Tirukalkundram, this particular inscription can be dated to somewhere between 775 and 805, 810 maybe. And 803, 804 is a period when according to Srikantha Chola, may have made his appearance in Pallava country. So that also makes it. And if he calls himself Raja Kesari, that means that there is at least one king between himself and Vijayalaya Chola, who is also a Raja. Sorry, who is sorry. If he calls himself Raja Kesari, there is at least one another Parakesari between himself and Vijayalaya Chola. Simple reason being, this Vijayalaya Chola is known to have ruled at least till 870 AD. And if the father himself ruled best case till 815 or 820, what is the chance that the son ruled from 820 to 870? Rather than that, it will be much easier for us to say uh, Srikantha Srimanohara. After that, his son and his grandson is Vijayalaya, and then we come to Aditya Chola. But again, the sequence is messed out. I'll come to that in a while. Now going to the other particular and the other inscriptions which deal with this particular period. There is another inscription somewhere near Thanjavur, uh, which says that a particular Chola, he reissued the Grand State Temple. Now we know that the conquest of Pallava Empire by Adi Chola is a bit peaceful. It's not that violent enough. And we also know that both Aditya Chola as well as Aparajita Pallava, they are staunch Hindus. There is no reason why Aditya Chola will have to reissue a grant for that particular temple. If he reissued the grant, he should have done it for every temple in the area, but not only for that particular temple. So, what other alternate have we got? Again, we come back to uh, uh, Srikantha Chola again. Now, there is a possibility that this Srikantha Chola is one of the governors in Pallava country for Rashtrakutas, and Rashtrakutas we know are Jains. It is possible that some lands from some temples are seized by Rashtrakutas, and Srikantha, he for some specific reason he reissued uh, the lands to the this particular temple. So, and one more thing here is there is a Srikanta Chaturvedi Mangalam somewhere near Tiruchirappalli. We so what do we have here? We have a Srikanta Chaturvedi Mangalam and Agraharam. We have one inscription where a king where a Rajagesari reissued the grants to a particular temple, and we have another inscription which is attributed to Aditya Chola, but the script of which is at least 50 years older than Aditya Chola. Now, if we compare not 50, some 75 to 100 years older than Aditya Chola. Now, if we try to link up all these things, there is a clear possibility that Srikantha Chola was a Rashtrakuta governor. Either he stayed as a Rashtrakuta governor till the end, whether I won't say whether he is the main Rashtrakuta governor for the whole of Pallava country. He can be one of them in a particular area and who has got access to the whole kingdom naturally. But what is the author trying to say here? Srikanta Chola is a Telugu Chola king who is uh, who is present in Pallava Nadu or Pallava country, Tondai Nadu, whatever you may call it, and either because of his stature, temporary stature, or because of the need for an alliance, he married his daughter to Jatila Parantaka, who also it is also known that Jatila Parantaka also initiated a war against Pallavas in the same period, slightly late, slightly after somewhere around 804, 805, and this marriage would have happened. This marriage would have happened somewhere in that period, somewhere after that, and looks like Srikanta Chola, he himself is somehow related to Pandyas. He's married. He is the nephew of a certain Manabharana. He can be one of the Pancha. He can be one of the Pancha Pandyas or another Pandya prince. And okay, so it is possible that Pandyans tried to use their relationship to marry with to establish marital ties with Srikantha Chola, or Srikantha Chola himself would have used his relationship with the Pandyans to marry into the main Pandyan line. Anything is fine, because there is another curious thing here. Srikantha Chola's grandson is uh, Parantaka Veeranarayana. Srikantha Chola, Sri Vallabha. After that, it is Varaguna Varman, and after Varaguna Varman, it's his brother Parantaka Veeranarayana. Parantaka Veeranarayana is a contemporary of Parantaka Chola, who is Adi Chola's son. Now, and a curious thing here is that Adi Parantaka Chola, he did not attack Pandyan country till Parantaka Veeranarayana is alive. Only after his death he attacked it. Was it because he took advantage of the chaos because of his death, or was it because of family respect? Because if both of them are descended from Srikantha Chola, and Parantaka Chola is, and assuming that he is Vijayalaya Chola is Srikantha Chola's grandson, it is clearly it is possible that Chola didn't want to attack his the father's cousin. We can call him a direct cousin of his father. Now there is another aspect of it. This Kumarankusa Chola, he is not a Rashtrakota vassal, he is a Pallava vassal. And this means that this also explains the things to some extent, because we see that Vijayalaya's son Aditya Chola, we see that he fought for uh, Pallavas at Sripuram BM, and not for Rashtraka, and not for Pandyans. Is that because let's say let's assume that for the time being, let's assume that Vijayalaya Chola is the Kumarankusha's nephew and not son. Kumarankusha is Srikantha Chola's son. Is it uh, uh, because Kumarankusha switched sides to Pallavas, Vijayalaya also switched sides, because that is the only reason why, if there is a Pallava, if there is a Chola kingdom in that area, that is the only reason why it can survive. Because either Pandyas will have to support it, or Pallavas will have to support it. They cannot exist on their own. Now, immediately after that, what we see in 848 AD, this Vijayalaya Chola, he captured Thanjavur, which was ruled by Mutturayas, and Mutturayas were Pandyan vassals at that point of time. So this means that there was someone who was backing him strongly, and someone who is in the neighborhood who was capable of supporting him. Why would he do that? Was it because this line is closely related to a major Pallava vassal? That is another thing. Now, I was saying, right. Srikanta Vijayalaya Chola can be Srikanta Chola's grandson. Now, uh, he calls himself, if Srikanta Chola Rajakesari, then Srikanta Chola's son will become Parakesari. Parakesari's son, and that son's son Vijayalaya Chola, he will become Rajakesari again, and this guy and Aditya Chola will become Parakesari again. But what we know here is Aditya Chola is not Parakesari, but he is Rajakesari. Uh, what exactly could have happened in the middle? Now there is another curious thing, which there are two other things which we can say. No, I'll rather say there are two different things here. Let's now uh, Nannechoda, who wrote Kumar Sambhavam in Telugu, there is no clear dating of him. Some says he's post Nannaya, and some says he's pre Nannaya. But there is one troublesome thing which he mentions in his book when he describes himself. He calls himself He calls himself the Lord of Orayur, and he calls himself Tenkanaditya, that is the Aditya of the south. But on the other hand, he names his father as Chodavalli, who ruled Pakanadu 21,000. Pakanadu, who ruled Pakanadu 21,000. Now, this Pakanadu and Pottavanadu, both of them overlap almost completely. And we cannot have, there is no chance that both of them are ruled by two different persons. So it is just possible that this Chodavalli and Srikantha Chola, both of them are identical. If both of them are identical, then what happens? Either Kumarankusa Chola is Nanna Choda's brother, or Kumarankusa Chola is Nanna Choda. And then at this point, he says, Nanna Choda says, I am the Lord of Orayur. He doesn't say that I am the Lord of Pottapinadu or Pakanadu. That means that he is not his father's successor. He is not his father's political successor in the main line. He is the ruler of a different. He is granted a different estate. Now this estate, this Orayur, or there are two different Orayurs here. Urayur, which is the traditional seat of Pandyans, the traditional seat of Cholas, and Orayur or Tiruvattruyur or Tiruvaruyur, which is in the north of Chennai, north of Chennai city. That is again in Tondanadu. Nagaswamy, for example, places this considers that that particular Orayur. Now, where am I here? Okay. Not Aditya. I'll come to that part slightly later, but let me look into the inscription first. Hmm. Uh, Velanjari plates of Parantaka Chola is the oldest Pallava inscription, which is the oldest Chola inscription which is known, and which gives a Chola genealogy. Now, this inscription says Orayura is known for his marvelous valor. Was born in the line. His son was a veritable fire to the forest of enemies, and his son was Aditya Chola. He mentions an Orayura. He doesn't mention Vijayalaya, but he mentions, but the, in the not he, but the inscription mentions Aditya Chola. Problem number one. Now, who is this Orayura? Nagaswamy himself, what he proposes, right? This Orayuran is a this Orayuran is from Tiruvariur and not uh, Urayur of Pallavas. Okay, fine. Orayur is the name of a sacred Shaivite village near Madras, and obviously the name Orayuran is derived from the name. In the time of early Cholas, I remember number of chieftains like Irukvel and Ilangavel are seen to be bearing this name. But now, if we say, now the problem is this: by the time of by the time of Nanachoda, Pallavas made a bounce back, and this Tondanadu territory is ruled by this Tondanadu territory lapsed back into Pallava rule. So there is a very less chance that he is named after Orayura, unless he is already a Pallava vassal who was granted an estate by the Pallavas, and who either he or his son, whose name is not mentioned, that particular person launched a war uh, Thanjavur and conquered it for Pallavas and was allowed to keep it. That is one option. And second option is that he's already the ruler of Orayur, but he's an in absentia ruler of Orayur. Reason why I say in absentia, after his now Srikantha Chola, after the Pallavas captured the area, there is a very less chance that a Pallava prince, a Telugu Chola prince will be stuck on the other side of Pallava Empire. Probably he fled when Pallavas start. Probably at a point when Pallavas defeated his army, he fled back to Pottapi to his brother Kumarankusa, and this Kumarankusa at some point uh, he switched sides in support towards the Pallavas, and maybe some Pallava emperor he saw an opportunity in creating a trouble in that area, and asked his son to and sent his nephew to uh, attack Thanjavur. And this is more plausible than that Orayuran being mentioned than this Orayuran being that of Tiruvallur. And now, if we go back to this inscription, I am the ruler of Orayur. Here we have an Orayur. Uh, this is and actually he's the only Pallava, he's the only Chola who said I am the ruler of Orayur. No one else said that except Nanne Chola. So if this is the case, so how can we reconstruct this particular lineage? So at the how we can start this is we can say Srikantha Chola. He was a sort of Rashtrakuta governor. Maybe we can date him to 790 to 810 820, and his son was Kumarankusha, and his younger son was Nannechoda. Now this and one more thing, he calls his father as Chodavali. And now we can date this Nanne Choda as absent. We can call him as absentia governor, uh, and he can be dated to 815 to 848, which is the date for Vijayalaya Chola, conquest of, or maybe somewhere slightly before Vijayalaya Chola's conquest of Thanjavur, and then we have. Let's remove this guy. The reason why I'll and this guy calls himself Oriyuran, and then we have this Vijayalaya. This Vijayalaya conquers and a conqueror of Thanjavur and the first Chola ruler. Then comes our favorite Aditya Chola. Okay, now the question is if Srikantha Chola, if he is Rajakesari, then Vijayalaya Chola should become Rajakesari, but Aditya Chola is Rajakesari. And Vijayalaya Chola is Parakesari. There are two possibilities here. Either there is a king between there are two kings between Srikantha Chola and Vijayalaya Chola. Option one. Option two. Nanne Chola is an absentia ruler of that area. Case number one. He is an absentia governor of that area, which means that he is not a king. Case number two. He's he was there in that area, but he's still a governor. So it's sorry. When I say absentia governor, it also means that he was not crowned in Orayur. He claimed to be Orayuran, but he was not crowned in Orayur. So that means that he is not considered as a ruler. And as time went by, because there is a dynastic gap between them, and because Srikantha Srimanohara is not at all related to this Tamil country, and because there is a time gap between all of them, the line may have been established from the time of Parakesar Varma Vijayalaya Chola. Even though Rajakesari Aditya Chola is can be considered as the true ruler of Pallava, true founder of Chola Empire. And one more thing, why we can say this why we can say this Nannachoda is an absentia governor is the Kudalur inscription of Vijayalaya Chola. If Vijayalaya Chola is there in Sravanabellagola, which is again a Ganga Rashtrakuta, territory, then there is a high chance that and then he was being called as Pottavinathan and not the son of Oroyor, which means that his father his father is not the ruler of Oroyor. He had a claim, but he was not the ruler of that area. Rajakesari Varman is Srikanta Chola, Vijayalaya is Parakesari, Chola is Rajakesari again. Now, so ultimately, this is the question. This is the question. Because who is this Vijayalaya Chola? See, suddenly we see that he comes all of a sudden. No one knows who he is. No one knows where he is from. No one knows what are his origins. And then he suddenly comes and conquers Thanjavur, the capital of Muthrayas, who are one of the main rulers, even the local, who are one of the main rulers in that area. How exactly is it possible? That's actually a valid question. And then what happens? Can an Orayuran, can he have his son's name as Vijayalaya and his grandson as Aditya? That is also not something which is easily reconcilable. Uh, because someone, if his father is a nobody, he'll either wipe him off from the slate, which most probably would have happened. But then someone will have to answer how come they became that powerful. uh, the, and then the other thing is this Srikanta Chola. He's also a nobody. Why will Pandyans marry him? Yes, you go and marry even the Ganga king. That is also fine. You go and marry Rashtrakuta princess. That is also fine. But what is this Telugu Cholas and Vaidumbas, Nolambas? They are nobodies in all history. Why would someone go and marry someone? Why would someone go and marry a person from such sort of lines? Oh, he is a military lightweight. He's somewhere between a military lightweight and military featherweight. And yeah, unless he has got some stature, and again we see a problem, and again we see that he has got a stature. How did he achieve that stature that both Cholas and Pandyans are consider him as an ancestor? That is also not something easily. So basically, this is the premise. Is Srikanta Chola, the Telugu Chola king, is he the real founder of Thanjavur Cholas? And most probably he's the grandfather of Vijayalaya Chola. Now, okay, but see, probably we can establish a link between Srikanta Chola and Vijayalaya Chola. Happy, no problem. But who came between both of them? That again is very very troublesome. It can be Kumarankusa Chola. It can be he can be as the Travancore manual mentions. He can be Kumarankusa Chola's grandson, which means Rajagesari, or he is a son of Kumarankusa Chola's brother, who is a ruler in absentia, who was sent by the Pallavas to conquer that area because he's already a Pallava ruler of note, and then he's already a Pallava governor of some decent standing, and when you have and he's already married to the Pandyan line, and he's very closely related to the Pandyans. Why will the Pandyans even if he goes and claims his patrimony, will the Pandyans reject it? Both. Neither Pandyans can. Neither will Pandyans oppose him, nor will even if he invades Muthurayas, the Pandyans will not oppose him, because after all, uh, he's been what is that? His father's sister is queen of Pandyan Empire. He will be reprimanded, but he will not be. They will not touch him. That is exactly what happened. Because 30 years, 25 years later, when Chola was ruling, 897, I guess, was it Sripuram BM? At the time, Cholas openly sided Pallavas. And in a matter of time, Pallava Empire itself was occupied by Cholas. Oh, sorry, Pandyas. Pallava Empire itself was occupied by Cholas. Now, there is another, okay, slightly off topic. There is another thing here. One another note in South Indian inscriptions notes says that possibly Aparajita Pallava's mother is Chola's sister. If Kumarankusa Chola is a prominent Pallava vassal, it is possible. And it can be his sister, means it can be Nanachola's daughter, or it can be Kumarankusa Chola's daughter. Anything is fine. And you using that, maybe he became big in Pallava Empire, and using that opportunity he killed Aparajita Pallava and took the throne. Maybe who knows? Or is it that he and Aparajita Pallava fought together against a different person, maybe Kampavarman, and then Aparajita Pallava was killed, and Chola took his banner and changed it from Pallava Empire to Chola Empire. That is also possible. The reason is the transition was too smooth for any conquest. Why did it happen and how did it happen? That is another open question. Maybe for a different time. Thank you.